just look at these. And then 1, 2, 3.
You'll never believe what the most widely used drug in the world is. 90% of people, according to the United Brain Association, regularly consume caffeine. Like many college students, whenever I have to stay up late trying to finish an assignment or have to get up early to go to work, I'll always reach for a cup of coffee. Over time, I realized, though, that I needed to cut it out. On days I'd be running late and I'd have to skip it, I'd always get to where I was supposed to be and I would feel drowsy and tired, and I wouldn't be able to focus throughout the day on what I was supposed to be doing. And I realized I need to cut out caffeine so I'd be able to focus on what I'm supposed to be doing more often. So today I'm here to encourage others to cut out caffeine and live it without their life, without the effects of caffeine in their life. This can be reaching for a cup of coffee in the morning, or trying to get an energy drink to stay awake throughout the day, or even just drinking a soda whenever you're getting ready for dinner. Caffeine completely surrounds us and it's in everything. People should cut out caffeine because the health factors caffeine leads to negative effects in our health, as well as a high caffeine dependency. And we're trying to break these, as well as ways to break caffeine dependent habits. Regular consumption of caffeine for many people leads to many more health problems. These can be, according to the UBA, effects can vary from person to person, but this can be from weight gain, this can be a faster heart rate, higher blood pressure, as well as insomnia in very many people. There's also a lot of mental health issues that people experience, as well as anxiety. Some may experience depression, or some may even experience impulsive behavior, especially whenever deprived of caffeine and experiencing withdrawal. The effects in the brain depend from person to person, and they may be unpredictable. These can be an increase in brain activity. Caffeine leads to an increase in brain activity for short periods of time, as well as can cause headaches and even high blood pressure during the jolts of energy. According to UCLA Health, supplements such as energy drinks, which are very high in sugar and very high in caffeine, are especially unpredictable, as they have very different effects because you're combining two very high energy items together, so it can be unpredictable depending on each person. This then leads into the factors of caffeine dependence. Even beginning at 100 milligrams a day, this can begin the process of caffeine dependence on someone. And this is only about a cup of coffee from Sutter Health. Caffeine increases dopamine in the brain, and with this it leads to long-term and can lead to withdrawal whenever without it. The adenosine, which is a nucleoside within the brain, which is very, very similar to caffeine and replicates the same functions, which is to enhance nerve activity in the brain. And because they're so similar, caffeine has the same effect as adenosine and can respond to the nerve receptors in the brain, according to Kodak. Withdrawal symptoms are also a sign of caffeine dependence. According to the UBA, this can often be headaches, irritability, and often dizziness whenever you go without caffeine for long periods of time. And a sign of caffeine dependency can also be a high caffeine tolerance, where over time you build and you have more and more, and you require more and more caffeine to be able to fix the craving each time. Breaking the habit. This leads into breaking the habit of caffeine tolerance. To do this, it's often easiest whenever you do it over a period of time. So this would be, or small increments over a period of time. By doing this, you can avoid many withdrawal symptoms, and they have a smaller effect on you. Doing this can often be switching to decaf or often buying no caffeine sodas, and this is according to Sutter Health. Quitting cold turkey is often more difficult to do, and according to Sutter Health, the effects or the withdrawal effects often begin to subside within 24 hours. But before this, it's often headaches, dizziness, and irritability for a period of time. Also, by doing this, starting without caffeine learning to start your day without caffeine, according to Everyday Health, learning to be mindful of ingredients. Caffeine is in almost everything. It's in chocolates, it's in medicine, it's in sodas, and it's in things you just wouldn't expect. Watching out for the ingredients and checking them in your products can be very helpful in determining the amount of caffeine that everything has, just to be safe. Another holistic approach from Everyday Health is actually preparing for the day ahead by getting a full 8 hours of sleep and being able to avoid having to consume caffeine regularly is also very helpful. Knowing these things often leads into knowing the importance of avoiding caffeine because of its negative health effects, leading to caffeine dependency, as well as learning to break the habits of caffeine dependency. Caffeine is the most regularly consumed drug in the world, and the majority of America is always consuming it. It's the number one stimulant. And despite the negative effects, people continue to consume it. And because of these reasons, the negative health effects, the caffeine dependency that happens, and then learning to actually break these habits, everyone can learn to cut out caffeine and lessen the health, and then lessen your chances of damage. It's the most widely used drug in the world, and because of this, it's very unhealthy and